It's Monday, March 23rd, 2026. You're listening to the DX Today AI Daily Brief. This morning, the White House lays out its vision for AI regulation. Wall Street pushes back on Nvidia's grand ambitions. Microsoft dials back its Copilot push. And a major publisher pulls a novel over AI suspicions. Let's get into it.
White House science advisor Michael Kratsios appeared on Fox News Sunday to discuss the administration's AI policy framework sent to Congress late last week. The plan urges lawmakers to preempt state AI regulations, arguing that a patchwork of local rules would stifle American innovation. The framework calls for no new federal agencies to oversee AI, instead relying on existing regulators for sector-specific guidance. It does carve out exceptions, allowing states to maintain laws protecting children, including bans on AI-generated child exploitation material. The proposal has drawn both praise from industry leaders and sharp criticism from state attorneys general, who see it as an overreach of federal authority.
From Washington to Wall Street.
NVIDIA's annual GTC conference delivered a 2.5-hour keynote packed with bold claims from CEO Jensen Huang, including projections of a $35 trillion agent ecosystem and $50 trillion in physical AI and robotics. But Wall Street wasn't buying it. The stock dropped during the presentation as investors weighed fears of an AI bubble. Goldman Sachs held firm with its $250 price target and buy rating, while Rosenblatt went even higher at $325. The disconnect between Silicon Valley optimism and market caution reflects what analysts call a great new uncertainty. Investors want revenue proof, not roadmaps.
Meanwhile, Microsoft is rethinking its approach. Microsoft announced a strategic rollback of its Copilot AI integrations across Windows 11. The company is removing Copilot entry points from Photos, Widgets, Notepad, and the snipping tool. Executive Vice President Pavan Davuluri said the company is becoming more intentional about how and where Copilot integrates, focusing on experiences that are genuinely useful rather than ubiquitous. The move follows months of user complaints about what critics have called AI bloat. Microsoft had already shelved deeper system-level Copilot features in Settings and File Explorer. The pivot signals a broader industry recognition that aggressive AI deployment can erode user trust faster than it builds utility. Tensions continue at the Pentagon.
The legal standoff between Anthropic and the Trump administration is deepening. The Pentagon classified Anthropic as a supply chain risk after the company insisted its AI models not be used for autonomous weapons or domestic surveillance. That designation effectively bars defense contractors from using Claude in any government work. Anthropic filed suit, calling the government's actions unprecedented and unlawful. Meanwhile, a Pentagon memo has opened the door for exemptions beyond the original 6-month phase-out period, suggesting some defense leaders are reluctant to lose access to models they had previously praised as superior. Federal agencies remain in limbo as the dispute plays out in court.
In publishing, a first-of-its-kind controversy.
Hachette Book Group has pulled the horror novel Shy Girl by Mia Ballard after evidence emerged that artificial intelligence was used to generate much of the text. The U.S. release has been canceled, and the U.K. edition, which sold nearly 2,000 copies, is being withdrawn from circulation. Content analysis by AI detection firm Pangram indicated that 78% of the book was likely AI-generated, flagging repetitive phrases and formatting anomalies. Ballard maintains she did not use AI herself, claiming an editor she hired used AI tools on an early draft without her knowledge. The New York Times called it the first commercial novel from a major publisher to be retracted over AI involvement. The case raises urgent questions about verification in an industry built on original human expression.
A new form of compensation takes shape.
Silicon Valley is buzzing about a new line item in engineering pay packages: AI tokens. At GTC, Jensen Huang proposed giving engineers roughly half their base salary in computational tokens, the units that power tools like Claude, ChatGPT, and Gemini. By his math, top engineers could burn through $250,000 a year in AI compute. Venture capitalist Tomas Tungus of Theory Ventures framed it as a fourth pillar of compensation, alongside salary, bonus, and equity. But engineers are cautious. A large token allotment comes with expectations of dramatically higher output. As one analyst noted, if you are burning 100,000 in tokens, you had better be 8 times more productive.
Big tech faces a balancing act.
Meta is reportedly planning to cut up to 20% of its workforce as it struggles to offset surging AI costs. The company projected capital expenditure between $115 and $135 billion for 2026, roughly double what it spent last year. CEO Mark Zuckerberg has called this a pivotal year for AI, aligning with his vision of building personal superintelligence. The layoffs would be Meta's most significant since its 2022 restructuring. Investors responded positively, pushing the stock up 3% on the news, reflecting a market that rewards cost discipline even as it questions the return on massive AI investments.
On the infrastructure front, a new partnership. Cerebras Systems and Amazon Web Services announced a multi-year collaboration to bring the fastest AI inference to the cloud. AWS will deploy Cerebras CS3 systems in its data centers, accessible through Amazon Bedrock. The partnership introduces a disaggregated architecture, pairing AWS Trainium chips for prefill with Cerebras wafer-scale engines for decode, delivering what both companies claim is 5 times more high-speed token capacity. Cerebras already powers inference for OpenAI, Cognition, and Meta at speeds reaching 3,000 tokens per second. AWS Vice President David Brown said the collaboration targets the critical bottleneck of real-time inference for coding assistance and interactive applications. Morgan Stanley sounds the alarm.
Morgan Stanley is warning that a massive AI breakthrough is imminent, and most of the world is not ready for it. The bank's latest report projects nearly $3 trillion in global AI infrastructure investment flowing through the economy by 2028, with more than 80% of that spending still ahead. The bank forecasts a net US power shortfall of 9 to 18 gigawatts through 2028, a 12 to 25% deficit. On the labor front, executives are already executing large-scale workforce reductions driven by AI efficiencies. OpenAI's GPT 5.4 thinking model scored 83% on the GDP Val benchmark, at or above human expert level on economically valuable tasks.
AI on the battlefield draws scrutiny.
The U.S. military has confirmed using advanced AI tools in its operations against Iran, now in their 4th week. Central Command leader Brad Cooper said AI systems enable troops to analyze extensive datasets in seconds, helping commanders filter information and make faster decisions. The military is using AI across the targeting cycle, from strategy meetings to battlefield execution, including logistics, drone navigation, and data fusion from multiple sensors. Human rights groups have raised concerns about civilian casualties, with Iranian officials reporting over 1,200 fatalities. Cooper emphasized that humans retain final authority over the use of force, but critics note the boundaries of AI's role in combat remain dangerously unclear.
OpenAI expands its model lineup.
OpenAI has launched GPT 5.4 Mini and GPT 5.4 Nano, smaller and faster versions of its flagship model, optimized for coding, tool use, and high-volume workloads. The Mini model is more than 2 times faster than GPT-5 Mini and approaches full GPT 5.4 performance on software engineering benchmarks. It ships with a 400,000 token context window. The nano variant is the cheapest model in OpenAI's lineup, priced at 20 cents per million input tokens, targeting classification, data extraction, and lightweight agent tasks. Both models are available in the API, Codex, and ChatGPT. The release reflects a broader industry trend toward efficient, specialized models rather than ever larger monoliths.
And finally, state legislatures are moving.
A wave of AI legislation is advancing across state capitals. In Georgia, 3 bills are progressing before the April 6th adjournment deadline, including a chatbot disclosure and child safety measure, and a bill prohibiting insurance decisions based solely on AI. Washington State is considering at least 5 AI-related bills covering health insurance decisions, deepfake protections, and content accountability. North Carolina has introduced measures on AI-generated content regulation and companion chatbot oversight. The legislative push comes as the White House framework urges Congress to preempt state AI laws, setting up a potential clash between federal and state authority over who regulates artificial intelligence.
That's your Monday briefing. 12 stories shaping the world of AI. For DX Today, stay curious.